Training camp is finally here, you New York Jets bastards, and we're here with a 53-man roster prediction. Let's go!
I'm gonna lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
Boy Green fucking Daily, fucking Daily, fucking Daily. Let's go!
Zooey mama.
Put your seatbelts on. Get ready for the ride. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Let's go, baby! Training camp! Yes! We're finally friggin' here. The rookies reported over the weekend, the veterans report today, and we are off to the bloody races, New York Jet fans. Make sure you like the video and hit subscribe as you're heading in. My name is Paul Liston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show also available wherever you get your bleeping podcast, baby. And in case you missed it yesterday, we did a very special show talking about Justin Fields and an inside look at what he did to prepare for training camp with a bunch of his teammates. I hope you guys check that show out. Thank you so much for the very positive reception on that show. That was terrific. But today we've got an even bigger show, baby. A 53-man roster prediction. My article talking all about this will drop at 9 a.m. on Heavy on Jets. But you guys will get an exclusive sneak peek, baby. And when I say sneak peek, I'm giving you the full Monty. You guys are going to hear everything I have to predict for this entire roster prediction. But before we get there, our number one Austrian Jet fan, baby, just gifted a 5-pack of Boy Green Coffee Club memberships. Let's go. And every time 5 memberships or more are gifted on this channel, I have no other choice but to play a video package, and I know what Austrian's looking for. Let's go, Kevin James.
Kevin James!
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops, God bless America, and gentlemen, start your engine!
Yes, let's go, Kevin James. Here are the 5 new members to the gosh darn Boy Green Coffee Club, baby. Here they are. We've got Illuminati Bot, Jets Set Full 24, Patrick Hill, Hennessy Heisman's back, Vibrate Higher, oh my. All of that here on the channel. Jared B just dropped the Discord link that you guys can access as a new member to the Boy Green Coffee Club. And also for Austrian Jet fan, 2 things here. I still love this Jets Draft Room banner that he got me. This is from the Jets Draft Room in 2025. Looks sweet. Thanks, Austrian, for sending that along. And also, our number one Austrian Jet fan has 30 raffle tickets for our Jets Cowboys giveaway. We'll talk more about that in a bit. But let's get right down to the brass tacks, baby. Right down to the brass tacks. Feel free, guys, as we're going to go position by position through the entire 53-man roster. I'll tell you how many I think are making it, who's making it, who the toughest cuts were. I'll walk you through that entire process. Feel free to get involved. I'll try to highlight your comments throughout the program. So without further ado, let's get started. I'll try to explain all of my rationale here on the channel for each of these decisions that I end up making here on the channel. But before we get there, it seems like more gifting is happening here on the program. Look at J-Boy, baby, with a Boy Green Coffee Club membership gift. Hey, Now, normally, I only do a video package for 5 raffle ticket or 5 memberships being gifted or more at the same time, but I'll do this one for you, J-Boy.
That's what I do know. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
We are. J-Boy, that membership went to Bob P. You are now a member to the Boy Green Coffee Club, baby. So shout out there here on the program. J-Boy, you are just 2 memberships away, gifting this month from getting a Jets Cowboys raffle ticket yourself here on the show. So keep that in mind. Again, you don't have to do that today, just before the end of the month. So let's ride. Oh, the memberships continue to flow here on the program. Now, wait just a minute, Philly Noodles. And I know what Philly wants, so let's, I got to add more. I've got more in the hopper, but I'll do this one for you, Philly. There you go. Boom shakalaka. We got another membership being gifted here on the channel. That membership just went to Aurora. Hey, Aurora, welcome back, baby. All right, here we go. So, Philly Noodles, you now have another gift happening here as well. Okay, let's put that towards your total. All right, beautiful. All right, you are another 4 memberships away, Philly Noodles, from getting a raffle ticket for a Jets Cowboys contest. Again, same as I said earlier, you don't have to do all that today. Just try to do that before the end of the month so you can get an opportunity to win. Now, all of you are about to win. Let's get into this 53-man roster prediction, plus your continued gifts happening here on the show. I love it when you guys gift from the high heavens. Well, let's start off at quarterback. My 53-man roster prediction is that 2 quarterbacks will make the 53. It's going to be Justin Fields and Tyrod Taylor. Justin Fields is clearly the QB1. Tyrod Taylor is clearly the QB2. Not a lot of drama here. The drama, if there's any, is for the QB3 role. That's between Brady Cook, the undrafted free agent out of Missouri, and Adrian Martinez, the former UFL MVP. Had some Chris Streveler fun moments in the past. Like, he's an interesting guy, mobile guy, makes a lot of sense. But I'll tell you this, and I wrote this in the piece. If the Jets would have drafted a guy in April, I think the Jets keep 3 quarterbacks on the 53-man roster if they drafted a guy. They did not. Brady Cook is a quasi-draft pick, if you want to call it that. He was an undrafted free agent that some people thought could have been drafted late. He was not. So maybe he's the guy. But to me, I think Brady Cook and Adrian, are battling it out for one of those 16 practice squad spots to be the QB3 that could be elevated in case of emergency. I think that's what we're battling here. So I'm going to go with two quarterbacks will be making it here on the 53-man roster for the New York Jets. I have 2 guys making it. Let's go to running back. Throw it up here. All right. I believe 5 running backs are going to make it on the 53-man roster. Now, it's 5 technically, but it's not really 5. I'll explain. So, roster locks of the top 3 on this list. Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, Isaiah Davis. To me, all 3 of those are roster locks to make the team. And then we get into funky territory. To me, the Jets are going to run the football a lot, which I think will warrant a 4th running back on the 53-man roster if the person's worthy. I'm not just going to put a running back on this team if I don't think they're any good, but I am a massive Donovan Edwards fan. I think this is my prediction, that he is going to make it undeniable in training camp. He's going to look so good that the Jets have no other choice. They're forced to keep an RB4. And I will say, that's really what this is all about, is that my advice, if any Jets players listening to this show that's on the roster bubble, that you want to make it undeniable for the coaches. Don't, in MMA, we say this all the time. Don't leave it in the hands of the judges. And what that means is that, in a UFC fight, there's 3 rounds or 5 minutes apiece. You have 15 minutes to knock out your opponent, tap him out, beat the bleep out of him. You have all this time. If you don't accomplish it during that time, it's up to the judges. And sometimes people say, oh, man, that judge made a horrible call. Well, if you didn't leave it in the hands of the judges, you wouldn't have left it up to chance, is basically what I'm saying. So we go back here to the running back conversation, or any position on the team. Don't leave it up to chance. Make it undeniable. Make yourself invaluable, that you're so important to the operation that they can't possibly even think about cutting you. And I think Donovan Edwards, or as Michigan fans apparently call him, the Don, okay, I think he's RB4. Now, again, I say there's 5 running backs making it, but the 5th running back here, I don't think is going to be playing much running back at all. He's got like under 30 carries in his entire career, even though he's listed at running back. I think more so, maybe he'll be a gizmo gadget guy. Maybe Tanner Angstrand's going to get all creative here. I think Kene Nguanu, the 5th running back, quote unquote, on this list, I think Kene is going to be our return man extraordinaire. Certainly in kickoffs and probably in punts too. That's possible. We'll get more into that in a little bit. But I think Kene Nguanu's got a path to be that return guy for the New York Jets. So I see them keeping 5 if, like I said, if you count Kene Nguanu in that territory. That's what I would say as it pertains to the running back position. Yeah, so let's do that. J-Boy says, need to flip Allen and Hall. Yeah, let me also make this clear, just in case it's not obvious. There is no particular order that I'm naming these players. They appear to be in some sort of order, but I'll tell you, J-Boy, we were talking about it on a Boy Green Meets Woody episode a couple weeks ago. I think Braylon is going to finish with more rushing yards than Breece Hall. And I don't know if that's Injuries, I don't know if that's the coaching staff making a decision. I don't know if Braylon, what we were just saying, makes it undeniable. I could totally see that. So, hey, man, I think Braylon Allen's going to make a lot of noise. I'm rooting for Brees. I want Brees to put it all together, but we'll see if that's even possible coming up here on the team. So, yeah, I got a 5-pack happening here for the New York Jets. Barbara says, do we still have that German guy on the team? Yes, we do, and I'll have more to say about him in a little bit, Barbara. Yes, we do have that German guy, and that German guy's name is Leander Wiegand, is apparently how you pronounce that, according to German broadcasts that I listened to catch up. So 5 here on the package. So let's go next. Fullback. Yeah, fullback. A fullback makes it. I saw NC Green said earlier, he said... where was that question? Where was that comment earlier? What about Beck, the fullback? Yes, NC Green, I didn't forget about him. Some people, when they do these 53-man roster predictions, sort of throw fullback into the running back category. I wanted to keep it separate. Yeah, Andrew Beck, fullback 1. The Jets keep a fullback. Totally see it happening. The Jets, sort of what I mentioned about running back earlier, they're going to run the ball a lot. And there are some things that I will admit here on July 22nd, I do not know. We've never seen Darren Mucci be a general manager before. We never saw Aaron Glenn be a head coach before. This is all new. What are their, like Robert Saleh, his philosophy was, we want to rotate defensive linemen. So we found that out year after year after year. Oh, this guy likes keeping a lot of defensive linemen. Our 53-man roster predictions will reflect that. Sometimes that happens, but we have nothing to reflect upon. I could sort of guess, the Lions like this. Maybe Aaron Glenn likes this. Denver is the assistant GM. They did some of this. Maybe that was Darren Mucci's influence. I don't know. There's a lot of unknown. But here's what we do know. Andrew Beck is from Darren Mucci's past, in Denver. So they connected there. The Lions ran the ball a lot in Detroit. I'm connecting some dots here, but there's only one fullback on the team. And unless the Jets enjoy wasting roster spots, they clearly have a plan for this guy. So to me, you have to include him in the 53-man roster prediction. I think they're going to run the ball a lot, and I think they have a plan. That's why he's on the roster. I don't think it's for, giggles. I think it's because they see how he's going to be utilized on this offense. So both as a blocker, and maybe there's even more to it, for sure. So, yeah, I think Andrew Beck totally makes this team. Totally makes his team. Yeah, I didn't mention Isaiah Davis earlier. Obviously, he's in that group that made it from the New York Jets. He's a roster lock, absolutely. But just a big salute there. So we'll see. NC Green says he's not ready to give up on Brees Hall in his contract year. Totally fair. Totally fair. We'll see what happens. But, I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for all the guys. I want, no matter what I'm going to say throughout the rest of this roster prediction, I totally hope that all these guys are awesome. Obviously, as a Jets fan, that's what I'm hoping for. All right, let's go to wide receivers. We're going to 7 wide receivers on the 53-man roster. And this one was difficult. So let's go through them. These are the receivers I have making the roster. I want to make this clear, especially for our audio-only listeners that are not seeing the graphics that are being thrown up on the screen here. Garrett Wilson, Alan Lazard, Josh Reynolds, Tyler Johnson, Arian Smith, Malachi Corley, and Jamal Pritchett. The story of this wide receiver group that's in front of you guys here is, I believe Jamal Pritchett beats out Xavier Gibson for the return job. Xavier, I'm sorry, your story has sort of run its course. The good news is Xavier actually was one of the people that Justin Fields flew down to Fort Lauderdale, Florida for the trip. So obviously he feels pretty good about X. So maybe, again, and Chris Bancho, the Jet special teams coordinator, before the break, he was drooling over Xavier Gibson. So I could just be forcing a square peg in a round hole here. I know fans are sort of done with Xavier Gibson, so maybe I'm going to be wrong here. But Jamal Pritchett, the South Alabama product, I think he has a chance to upend Xavier Gibson in the return game. Kene Nguanu is going to be another member of that return game too. Jamal Pritchett, a smaller guy, so we'll sort of see. Alan Lazard, again, we've heard all the trade rumors, this and that. The Jets would be crazy to trade Alan Lazard to Pittsburgh ahead of week 1. It just doesn't make any sense. Unless they're giving us a first-round pick. That's not happening. A second-round pick, a third-round pick, a fourth-round pick, maybe a fifth-round pick. But like a 6th or 7th-round pick, I'm not giving up Alan Lazard and any trade secrets team may have. And quite frankly, no matter what they offer, I'm going to be like, hey, man, we'll give him to you in week 2. We're not giving him to you in week 1, maybe regardless of what they offer. So I think Lazard makes the team at least initially, and then we'll see what happens. Josh Reynolds is going to make this team. Tyler Johnson, I'm really excited about, number 16 on the New York Jets. Arian Smith. Again, I'm going to be sharing out some clips. You guys will see it in the YouTube shorts from my interview with Jeremy Fowler, ESPN NFL Insider. He had some interesting things to say as I combed back through the interview yesterday because I'll write more columns about things he said and share clips. He had some interesting things to say about how the Jets view Arian Smith in that interview. If you guys missed that with ESPN NFL Insider Jeremy Fowler, that's in the video section. You guys can see that interview. He had some interesting comments about Arian Smith. Malachi Corley. Me and Philium, FL Phil 98, have talked about this a couple weeks ago. I don't love the attitude of Malachi Corley from last season, but you know what? It's a new year. Let's wash our hands. Let's start fresh. Clean slate. New coaching staff, new everything. Malachi, it's up to you, buddy. Here's a good thing. Malachi Corley was one of the players that Justin Fields flew down through Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Yeah, that's good news. Malachi Corley appeared in both video and photo evidence from this Fort Lauderdale trip, was running routes, catching passes, all kinds of things. So he seems healthy. Okay, that's great news. Being healthy, being engaged, and boy, he's better turn the cat backward, young man, because he's got to catch up. He missed so much time in the spring. Those are reps with Justin Fields. Those are reps with the Tanner Angstrand offense. Just all of it. Route running, to clean that up. So I'm going to give Corley the benefit of the doubt here. I'm going to say he's going to turn it around. He was the first pick of the third round last year. Talent is there, and the Jets wide receiver room beyond Garrett Wilson, a lot of question marks. Let's just put it that way at the wide receiver room. We have Steve here, Steve Magic Man. Brady Cook should be and will be the starting quarterback. What in the world? I appreciate the Missouri love we're getting here on the show, but no, that's not going to happen. If that does happen, oh boy, then this season went in a lot of different ways. Philly Noodle says, I could see Pritchett making the practice squad. Again, I get it. That's and I will admit, candidly, that prediction is a little aggressive, that he's going to straight up make the 53-man roster. I'll admit is a little bold. NC Green, Lazard isn't going anywhere. Receiver might be their best blocker at receiver. Yeah, and unless it's a trade, I don't see him just getting straight up cut. I don't see that. Foxy, Stephen Fox jumping in saying, please smash the like button. Please do. Subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Hit the reminder bell so you don't miss any videos. That includes live videos and other videos. We'll have a lot of content coming up with training camp. And subscribe to the fantastic The Man Shut Show, Boy Green Digital. And here's a plug, everybody. I told you that there's a direct link in the YouTube description down below. We have Jets content. It's, as a matter of fact, it dropped at the same time as Boy Green Daily this morning. So after this Boy Green Daily is over, make sure you hop on over. We spoke to, for the very first time, Randy Lang. He works for the New York Jets. He's a senior contributor. He's an insider. He's a historian. We gave you about an hour Jets training camp full preview. That dropped this morning at 7:30. Check that out on the Man Shot Show, Boy Green Digital, a full preview of New York Jets training camp. So, guys, make sure after this, of course, enjoy your Boy Green Daily, baby. But make sure you jump on over. I'll be sharing that out on social media in a little bit. Randy Lang gave us about an hour. Terrific conversation. That was my first time ever doing an interview with Randy. I've been a big fan of his for a long time. And that was cool. We got into all kinds of fun topics. So I hope you guys enjoy it. And yes, let's help Paul get to 2K, baby. We've had a surge of subscribers, and now we're under 200 away from 8,000. So let's keep that train rolling, baby. Yes. Appreciate you guys. Keep the comments coming. Vern says Arian Smith returning punts. That'd be great. And apparently Chris Banjo said they've sort of been experimenting with him. Seeing what's up with training camp is going to give us some insights into that, Vern. But that would be another fun one. Maybe we don't need a Jamal Pritchett. Maybe Arian's doing it. That could make sense. Philly Noodle says, I think Gibson makes his team. Again, based on the current trajectory, he probably should. So I'm probably being pretty aggressive there, saying he's not. Because like I said, Chris Banjo likes him. Justin Fields seems to like him. We'll see. Meadowland Swamp Thing. How many passes will the bottom of our receiver room catch with Fields at quarterback? Well, how many injuries are happening at the wide receiver room? That'll be another question that happens. I don't know. We'll have to get into stats and target spray and how all that would work. We'll see. So we'll see what happens. But good questions, good comments so far, everybody. Very engaged here. Very engaged. I like it. Jets Worldwide, I love this from a teacher perspective. Speaking from experience, even a less than perfect student can turn around with the right mindset. Let's hope the right mindset and the right coaching, right? The teachers can, teacher here. I'm not a teacher, but Jets Worldwide. Sometimes the message from the teacher to the student can sometimes change. Like, okay. You were giving it to me in this complicated way, but now you're saying it this way. Oh, I understand it. I get it. I relate. So maybe that's possible. Could be. Scotty Mayhem says, anyone sleeping on Brees will be re-examining their take soon. He'll be a top 5 back this year. I hope you're right, Scotty. I hope you're right. That would be absolutely terrific. We have over 200 people in the room. Make sure you guys like the video. Hit subscribe, baby, here in the chat. So, again, 7 wide receivers I have making the Jets roster. Let's go to tight end. I got 3 making the 53-man roster. Mason Taylor, Jeremy Ruckert, and Stone Smart. Now, I'll be honest. I think there's a path for a 4th tight end to make this roster. But I didn't see a 4th tight end worthy of making this roster. Neil Johnson didn't do it for me. Zach Kuntz didn't do it for me, despite him being at that Justin Fields workout. So Mason Taylor is obviously going to be the straw that stirs the drink at the tight end position. Obviously, I've not been a big fan of Jeremy Ruckert. Based on the production, I don't have anything personally against the guy. He's just sucked at the NFL level. If we're calling it how we see it, he sucked at blocking. He sucked at catching. He sort of sucked at existing on this football team. I hope he turns it around. I'd love to be wrong. But Jeremy Ruckert's been awful. Now, the good news for Jeremy is the Jets did Butkus at the tight end position outside of Mason Taylor, so I don't see how he doesn't make this team. How is he not the tight end 2? And Stone Smart, I think, is an interesting dart throw that I think is a roster lock. He's going to make the team unless he's a absolute failure in training camp and preseason where he looks awful or is a bad teammate or something. He's making the roster too. So I think at least 3 make it, but there's no 4th right now. Maybe a 4th emerges. I heard the Noah Fant commentary earlier. Maybe that changes up the depth chart a little bit. If we jump on the Noah Fant train, I'm intrigued by Noah Fant. The size, 6'4", about 250. Can run a 4.5 flat in the 40-yard dash. He's got intriguing athletic traits. Again, he's got a nice floor as a player. He's basically gotten between 400 and 600 receiving yards every year of his career. That's great. For what he is, that's great. The ceiling, I don't know what the ceiling is, but that's okay because Mason Taylor is supposed to be the ceiling guy, so we'll see. But yeah, I have 3 tight ends making this roster. Again, I would have 5, but I just don't see, I have 3. I could see 4, but I just don't see a 4th. So we'll sort of see what's going on. Jets Worldwide apparently back from Italy. Salute. We'll see. We'll welcome back Jets Worldwide. Taylor Sterling says Zach Kuntz is better than Smart. Okay, maybe that will be proven with as he cups his hand and goes Kuntz, which depending on how you say that could be offensive to people in the audience. But that's neither here nor there. So yeah, I got 3 tight ends happening here on the team. Tony Alexio says Noah Fant will replace Jeremy Ruckert. I would say if it would rearrange, I think you could have Mason, Noah Fant, and Jeremy Ruckert as the 3rd, and maybe Stone Smart your 4th. I think it could be rotated. We'll sort of see what happens. But good comments. Good commentary, guys. Okay. DJ Dirty Cooch. Boy Green, if Tyrod had a bad breakfast and gets sick, Field stubs his toe at the hotel, who's your 3rd-string emergency quarterback? I believe, again, we mentioned this yesterday on the show, that is Guatemalan for you're fucked, DJ. You are. The good news is that you can elevate a player from the practice squad. So maybe they keep both on the practice squad, and that is Brady Cook and Adrian Martinez. I think they keep at least one, obviously, and maybe they keep both on there, and then that is your emergency. Now, your emergency isn't great, but ask any NFL team who is your emergency 3rd quarterback. Some answers are better than others, but the answer's the same. You're boned more times than not. Again, depending on your situation. So we'll see. All right, let's keep moving on here on our 53-man roster prediction. Again, my name is Paul Austin Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. We have 300 people in the room right now. Like the video, hit subscribe. I'm giving you guys a full pre-training camp. Training camp starts today. Veterans report today for the New York Jets. A full pre-training camp 53-man roster prediction. We'll have an accompanying article with this on Heavy on Jets that will drop on the website at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. We're recording this live at 7:55 a.m. currently right now. So dropping about an hour, and I'm going through the entire thing. I'm giving you guys the full Monty of the article, plus there's some extra notes, quotes, and stats in the article that you guys can check out if you'd like. Let's go to offensive linemen. I believe 9 offensive linemen make the Jets 53-man roster, and let's go through them. Olu Fashanu, John Simpson, Joe Tippmann, Elijah Vera Tucker, Armand Membu, Chukwuma Okorafor, Josh Myers, Cole Laval, and Carter Warren. Now, let's break down these 9 for a second, okay? The starting 5 are obvious. Olu, John, Joe, Elijah, Armand Membu. Duh. Those 5 are making the roster. Put those 5 in a pocket. I think the top 2 depth guys are roster locks. I think Okorafor is a roster lock. He's your tackle / right tackle. And Josh Myers is your interior player who had some previous experience at guard, but he's been a center at the NFL level starting 56 games in his career. I think those top 7 are cha-chink locks. Now, beyond that, we get into other depth options. I'm a big Cole Laval guy. He has positional flexibility. He's played all 5 offensive line positions in his career. That, to me, is intriguing. Carter Warren has been a tackle. Now, I'm not as high on Carter Warren, but other people are, like Damian Woody. Hell, okay, let's make this clear if it's not obvious, okay? Damian Woody has forgotten more offensive line football, and probably football in general, than I will ever know, okay? So I bow down to Damian Woody. We've had him on the show. He's terrific, okay? He is a massive Carter Warren fan. So I will bend the knee to Damian Woody on offensive line play. So I think there's going to be that top 7. And to the same DJ Dirty Cooch, what if you stub your toe and have a bad breakfast and this and this and this? For those reasons, I think you'd rather be deeper on the offensive line than lighter. Okay, we've had years where the Jets have got 10 offensive linemen. I think 9's a sweet spot. Now, the toughest cuts for me were guys like Xavier Newman, who I like a lot. There's Max Mitchell, who unfortunately had the blood clots recently, so he's on there. And I want to answer Barbara's question from earlier. What about that German guy, Leonda Vegan? So here's how it works, okay? Normally, every team in the NFL right now has 90 players on the roster, and then they eventually cut it down to 53. However, there's a roster exemption for teams that participate in the NFL pathway, the NFL International Pathway Program. So what does that mean? Well, we did a full show on it a couple months ago. You guys can review that. There's some good facts in there, but here's basically it. The International Pathway Program cranks out about 9 to 12 guys a year that could go to any NFL team, and they're on the team, and basically it's supposed to be broadening the horizons of the league. The Jets' International Pathway Program player is Leonda Vegan, who is a German offensive lineman. Right now, the Jets have a roster exemption for him. Again, teams normally have 90 players. Jets are allowed to have 91 players because of Leonda. However, when we get to the 53-man roster cut down, that exemption disappears for the active roster. If Leonda just makes the team straight up, which is possible, if he's awesome, he could just make the team, then there's nothing to worry about. If he does not make the team, let's say he doesn't make the 53-man roster, the Jets get an exemption back to put him on the practice squad. Teams normally can carry 16 practice squad players. But if Leander doesn't make the 53 and he passes through waivers, the Jets can re-add him back to the practice squad as a 17th player. So I believe no matter what, the floor for Leander is as the 17th practice squad player. What do the Jets have to lose? He's not taking a spot away from anyone else. He has an exemption for his spot. So to answer your question, Barbara, Leonda is still on the team, and I believe his floor is practice squad. And his ceiling, of course, he could make the team if he's good, and we'll see what happens. So, Leonda Vegan, really excited about what he's able to do, and I love the International Pathway Program. So it should be a lot of fun. Could be a great opportunity. Could be a great opportunity. Kyle Clifton, also a big Cole Laval guy, but Newman's made great strides. Again, he was a tough cut for me, Xavier Newman. I think he's got a great chance to make the roster. That was a toughie for sure, and maybe he beats out Cole Laval. I could totally see that being a possibility. Reese asks, is Cole Laval the offensive lineman from the XFL? Yes, he is. Yep, he was on the XFL. He was in the XFL, and yes, he can play all 5 offensive line positions. So I'm a big fan of Cole Laval. More love for Xavier Newman in here. Michael James says Xavier Newman is making this team. Again, that could totally make sense. I could totally see that. Max Mitchell is another one I gave a shout out to at offensive line. Yo Home says Beck is technically a tight end. That's the fourth tight end who shoots up. So there you go. That can cook. I believe the Jets officially on the roster have him listed at fullback, but still, he does obviously have tight end reps in his past. So maybe he's the guy that sort of is the mock guy for both. We thought that's what Jeremy Rucker would be. Half H-back, half tight end. It's sort of this versatile piece that moved all over the place, but obviously that never worked out that way. So, take that for what you will. Okay, there you go. That's the offensive line group for the Jets. So this finishes us off for the offense, the offensive side. Michael James says, predict the 69-man roster, 16 practice squad players. I'll do that on another show. I am predicting the full 53-man, and there's an accompanying article. Maybe when we get to the actual, when we get to the actual 53-man roster cut down in a month, then we could do the practice squad players. That sort of seems over the top now, but I'll definitely do that. So there you go. But good questions, good comments. I love it. Continue to feed them in. If you have disagreements with my list, you agree with my list, whatever you guys are saying. Also, guys, feel free to do that as well. If you're watching the show after the fact, I'll react to a bunch of your comments in the comment section, so feel free to do that. I'll keep answering and asking. All right, let's keep moving along here. Let's go to the defense. I have 4 defensive tackles making it on the 53-man roster for the Jets. Quinnen Williams, Byron Cowart, Derek Nottie, and Leonard Taylor III. That's who I have making the group. Quinnen Williams, does more need to be said about this man. He's absolutely terrific. But trying to find the Robin to his Batman is one of the big keys for the New York Jets this offseason. And there's a lot of names in this defensive tackle group. Byron Cowart, Derek Nottie, Leonard Taylor III, Jay Tufele, Braden McGregor, Eric Watts. I mean, name after name after name. It's overwhelming how many names there are. And I think this group is going to be a good balance of veterans and youth. Byron Cowart is this veteran that's sort of been bouncing around the league. Derek Nottie is the former 3-time Super Bowl champion with the Kansas City Chiefs. Leonard Taylor III has all the pass rush juice I love. Now, run defense, he's going to have to prove himself. But I'm really excited about him. There were a lot of tough cuts in this group for me. Fedarian Mathis, I'm super high on. He was a former top 50 pick of the Washington Commanders a couple of years ago. He's talented. The only problem is he's been hurt, so he hasn't been able to consistently prove himself. So if he could get healthy, I think Fedarian Mathis could make some noise. A couple of undrafted free agents that were tough cuts for me. So what I did was to tell you how the sausage was made. I threw up on paper. I just bleh. 2 quarterbacks, 12 running backs, 30 wide receivers, all these names, boom, 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 and I counted it all up, and I'm like, crap, I'm at 65. Now I need to cut from 65 to 53. So that's what I did. I threw up just off the top of my head, like names that I liked or didn't or whatever, and I just put them all on a sheet. And then I pulled out the calculator, boop, 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 boop. Shit, I'm up to 60. I got to cut 7 guys. So this guy, and then I comb through the roster. Okay, this guy's got to be out. Do I take away a defensive tackle? Do I take away a tight end? And I went through that whole process. And by the way, that's one of the parts I love about Hard Knocks. When you have the coaches and general managers, they're staring at the roster stack on the board, and they're like, damn, do we take away one wide receiver? Do we take away a linebacker? What about the special teams ramifications? It's so cool to do this exercise because it's chess. It's you move this piece, but this piece means this piece, and there's all kinds of fascinating parts about this. So Fedarian Mathis was a tough cut for me on the interior. Another tough cuts were the 2 undrafted free agents, Fatorma Mulba, or Fat Orma, and Peyton Page. What a great name, Peyton Page. It's got a lot of chutzpah to it. Peyton Page had a Clemson on a deep defensive line with the Tigers, has all this crazy talent, but never broke through on the depth chart. And the Jets are taking a chance on him. And boy, I like Peyton Page a lot. But he was one of my final roster cuts. I was like, okay, I got to take him off the board. So he was a toughie. He was a toughie for me, for sure. But defensive tackle, this is a very important group. But yeah, Peyton Page, that was a toughie. For me to cut, for sure. And we'll see sort of how people sort of evaluate here on the defensive tackle group. Jets Worldwide says Batman hasn't had a Robin in quite a while. Think about it. Like we talked about a wide receiver earlier, right? Garrett Wilson, he's Batman. Who's his Robin? Oh no, Mike Williams is Robin. No, he's not. Devontae Adams is his Robin. No, wait, Devontae Adams is trying to steal the Batman costume. Hey, give it back. So we've gotten a lot of weird. Both at wide receiver trying to find the Robin to the Garrett Wilson Batman, and defensive tackle trying to find the Robin to Quentin Williams Batman. It's just been a very difficult challenge. Very difficult. Very difficult. We'll see if that can clean up. For sure. Okay. We'll see if that can clean up. All right, let's keep moving along here, and then we will move along here on our 53-man roster prediction. Then we'll open up the phone lines to talk Jets training camp and apparently everything that's coming up for the Jets. I'm hearing some other stuff is on the horizon, so we'll start moving with some pace here. Defensive ends, I have the Jets keeping 6. Jermaine Johnson, Will McDonald, Michael Clemens, Tyler Barron, Rashad Weaver, and Jamarcus Weston. So 6 defensive ends making it. It's really 5. Jamarcus Weston's listed at defensive end, but he's more a special teams ace. Did that a lot at Florida. Hell, he played like every position at Florida. Wide receiver, linebacker, pass rusher, this, that. I mean, he played all over the place. I think he's a special teams demon, so take him out. Jermaine and Will are going to be the stars that the straws that stir the drink, excuse me. Michael Clemens, a lot of people don't like him, but it is what it is. He is the third most experienced defensive end on this roster. And they did nothing to add someone else. If they add someone else, we can have a different conversation. But right now, Michael Clemens is the third best defensive end on this team. And with Jermaine Johnson on the PUP, we'll see what it means for the season. Clemens is going to be getting a lot of reps, and you guys are not going to like that. Tyler Barron, 5th-round rookie. He's clearly on the team. Rashad Weaver, era was pointing up in a very big way coming out of the spring. And again, competition is sort of lacking here from that perspective. So that's the honest conversation there at defensive end. So keep that in mind. Quickly, let's move to linebackers. I see the Jets keeping 3. Jamian Sherwood, Quincy Williams, and Francisco Mauigoa, a 5th-round pick out of Miami. This was tough. For most of the 53-man roster cut down that I was doing before the show, I had 4 linebackers on here, candidly. But then with all these different roster things I was doing, I ended up cutting off my boy Jamin Davis, the former first-round pick linebacker. So he was right on the cusp of making it. I think the Jets keep at least 3. They could keep 4. Maybe they could keep 5. But again, what we don't know is schematics. We talked about that also with Randy Lang, our Jet senior contributor, in that interview on the Man Show Boy Green digital page. I don't know what kind of scheme philosophies do they have. They like keeping a lot of linebackers, don't like keeping a lot of linebackers. There's a lot of unknown that happens here. I think these 3 are locks, and then we're getting into everybody else who's on the team. That's sort of how I see it. I think, the bell sort of rung on Zaire Barnes. I'll quickly go through the rest of these here. Cornerbacks, 6. I have 6 making the team. Sauce Gardner, Brandon Stevens, Michael Carter II, Azaria Thomas, Quantez Stiggers, and Isaiah Oliver. The toughest roster cut of this group was Jarek Bernard-Converse. He was a player I loved in the draft a couple years ago. The Jets drafted him, and I was giddy. He's been hurt, but he's young. He's talented. He's versatile. He showed a lot of chutzpah last year. I love JBC a lot. I just don't know how he cracks this group. This may be the deepest positional group the New York Jets have on the roster. I mean, quite frankly, this group is awesome. Isaiah Oliver is a versatile Swiss Army knife. I love Quantez Stiggers, and I think he's going to continue to make noise. He was Quincy Anuno's breakout player prediction for training camp. Azaria Thomas could have been a first-round corner, and then those top 3 names I mentioned are all starters on the team. Cornerback is super deep for the New York Jets. Jumping over to safety, I have 4 safeties making the roster. Andre Cisco, Tony Adams, Malachi Moore, and Dean Clark, one of the undrafted free agents. I think the top 3 on this list that I mentioned are all locks. Cisco, Adams, Malachi Moore. Some people don't like Tony Adams, but again, when you mention experience and things of that nature, he's at least going to be the 3rd safety on this team. He could be the starting safety day 1 of both camp and week 1 of the Pittsburgh Steelers game. Malachi Moore is going to be chasing him, of course, is the 4th-round pick the Jets traded up for. Dean Clark, a very talented UDFA who had a lot of interest from other teams. The Jets were able to secure him and bring him to the table. We'll keep an eye on what ends up happening at the safety position to see who else. 2 names to watch, Jarius Monroe and Jalen Simpson. Those are 2 guys that will be vying for roster spots. Finally, let's round it out here with special teams. Harrison Mevis, place kicker, Kai Kroger, punter, and Thomas Hennessy, long snapper. Well, Thomas obviously isn't going anywhere, but we have a straight-up kicking and punting competition, respectively. I'm going to lean Mevis over Caden Davis, and I'll go Kai Kroger over Austin McNamara. But again, it's all sort of a coin flip. We'll see how they participate and perform during training camp. So that takes us all the way through for the full 53-man roster prediction here on the program, and we'll continue to answer your questions. All right, let's go. We got Hear Me Out. We got a YouTube super chat coming through. Every time we get one of those, we play this.
Thank you for that. The super chat. You could get lucky here on the Boy Green Show. This show is daily. It's in the morning. Be sure to stay tuned. Let's go, Jen.
Thank you, Hear Me Out, for the $5 super chat here on the show. You continue to pile up your memberships gifted this month. Appreciate it. Boy Green, I'm too lazy to research. Are our Jets and Seahawks looking good this year? Hear Me Out has been a long-time contributor to the show. He is a Seahawks fan, and I love that we can have different fans of teams here on the show, which is great. Seahawks, it's going to be funny how we're going to be forever connected, Hear Me Out, because Sam Darnold is there in Seattle. If I had my druthers and could have picked any quarterback to add to the team this offseason, and they had no say in the matter, I would have added Sam Darnold back to the Jets. I love Sam Darnold. He's coming off a great year. I know it ended horrifically, but I'm a big Sam Darnold fan. I think you guys are going to be great with Sam Darnold. I love Kenneth Walker. He's talented. You got Jackson Smith and Jigba. He's a talented guy. Obviously, there's a lot of era changing there with guys like Tyler Lockett out, DK Metcalf out. Mike McDonald seems like a very bright young man. So, yes, I think Seattle's going to be making some noise. I absolutely do on that side. And my Jets, I am quite high on. So we'll see. I've got a lot of optimism. Hear Me Out. And thank you for that $5 super chat coming up here on the program. All righty. Let's keep it rolling here. Let's see. Let me get any other questions in here. I'll do this while we're waiting for any other super chats or comments or things of that nature. But look at this. Look at this. A lot of things are happening for the New York Jets. The Jets apparently have redone their locker room. Shout out to Jared B. They have a 230 square foot 3D Jets logo, a sauna with a sound system, barbershop with refurbished chairs from the 1950s. And here are some of the images. I'm going to be throwing these up on the screen here in just a second. What in the world? I guess they took that NFLPA thing pretty seriously, guys, for some of the questions that they had about everything around here with their facilities and whatnot. And good Lord have mercy. As a matter of fact, it's funny. We were talking about this the other day on the Man Show of Boy Green Digital about college football and some of these meccas. Look at this. Look at this. This is the Jets barbershop. I'm going to shout out to the New York Jets social media team for all the new looks here. Look at the logo. Oh my God, the logo is terrific. I'm glad it took forever for us to get here, but this looks great. Look at this. The lockers are sweet. Look at the big screens. Oh, that looks so terrific. I like some of the old school stuff with the Jets, but come on, man. This looks great. Wow. Okay, let's throw this one up on the screen. Look at the barbershop, the refurbished chairs with the Jets logo on the side. How the hell do I get one of those? Love to get my hair cut in that chair. Wow. Get this beard trimmed in that thing. Here's the 3D logo. Oh, my goodness. Look at this thing. That is sick. Wow. Go back to it. Look at that Jets logo that's just hanging from the locker room. I can't wait to see this freaking locker room. Oh, my gosh. I applied for media access to a upcoming Jets training camp practice. I don't know if the locker room will be open at that point, but look at all this. Shout out to Jared B. Thanks for the notes and quotes. Holy freaking crap. Wow. Terrific. Yeah, we'll see. I'm going to try to get to the Jets-Giants joint practice. We'll see. I think that's August 12th. But this, holy friggin' crap. Big salute to the New York Jets. This locker room and complete update. Look at the LED green lights. Oh my goodness. If you're listening to the audio only version, make sure you hop on over to YouTube to see this, to see it on the channel at BoyGreen25. Good Lord. This is looking spectacular. So thank you. Jared B says there's a video package. All right, let's get the video package in here. Terrific. Okay, the photo selections just came from this. Oh wow. Oh, there's a full video ensemble. Good lord. Okay, well, without further ado, let's get this video package ready. Hang on tight, people. Yeah, they have a full tour happening here as well. So thank you, Jared B. We'll try to get that here on the show momentarily. Wow. Okay. Look at this. The New York Jets doing some business, baby. They're doing some real business. You love to see it. All right. Here we go. Okay, beautiful. We'll get back to that in just a second. We'll hopefully have a video to play of what's looking up there. We got another YouTube super chat coming in from Hear Me Out, baby. Let's bring this one up on the big board every time I get a super chat here from my daughter, Zariah Luna.
Wow.
Thank you for the $5 super chat, my friend. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay, you are getting closer and closer to another raffle ticket, my friend. So just keep that in mind. You're another, let's see, what would that be? All right, you're another $10 away from another raffle ticket for the Jets Cowboys game. Hear me out. So keep that in mind. You don't have to do that today. Just got to do that before the end of the month. Sam and I have both already had mono, so I can kiss him without hesitation if I get on the field after we win the NFC Championship game. No Super Bowl risks. Ah, how creative. Yes, I believe once you get mononucleosis, you can never get it again. I had that once, and oh, God, that was death. I had it when I was like a kid. That was awful. And my sister got that too. Oh, boy, it was... Ugh. Mononucleosis is nasty, man. It's so draining energy-wise and all that, and... I just couldn't believe that headline. That is like the craziest headline I've ever seen. Our starting quarterback is out from mononucleosis. Do other NFL teams deal with this kind of stuff? Like, I don't know. I'm a Jets fan, so I'm in the weeds here. But is anyone else's quarterback getting sucker punched in the locker room? Another Seattle Seahawks Jets connection, right? Is any other quarterback getting punched in the locker room or mononucleosis or every other weird thing that's ever happened to the Jets? I mean, honestly, has that happened? Really? Like, what the hell is going on here? I just don't understand. It's just, I'm having like a weird therapeutic moment here, I guess. But, like, think about the things that have happened to us as Jet fans. Now, again, brighter times ahead, I hope. We're here on July 22nd. Training camp starting. All the vibes are all terrific and great and all that jazz, which is, again, a real hoot. No question about it. But I just like, what in the world is going on here? I just seems strange. I don't know. But, I just had a weird moment there where I wanted to share that here on the show. But, here we are. Anywho, let's get to it. So I believe I have the video package of the Jets giving us a tour of their new facilities here, that all the upgrades. We'll play that in just a second for you guys. Again, shout out to Jared B. Thanks for being on the lookout. Absolutely awesome. So thank you. We will play that here in just a moment as the video uploads here. The Jets gave us a tour of this beautiful facility. Again, shout out to Jared B., our moderator in the chat, for keeping an eye on social media. Obviously, I'm live doing a show here. I'm not seeing all the hoopla that's being discussed out there in the social media streets of what's happening, but that looks amazing. So, okay, we'll get that in just a second. Okay. And yeah. If you guys have training camp tickets to trade with each other, feel free to do that. If I can help in any way, please let me know. So I'll see if I can do any trading of anything to help you guys out. I know Jake Assman does that a lot, so he may be another good person to look at from that perspective. Let me see. Vern, do away teams stay in our locker room when they play the Giants? I would. No. I think there's a third locker room, but I'm not exactly sure, to be honest. So, all right, here it is. Without further ado, here's from the New York Jets, a tour of their new facility. Here we go. Holy shit. Good Lord. Oh, my God. Wow. Oh, my goodness. For our audio-only listeners, you just heard a very interesting dubstep beat if you're in a club or something, but oh, my God. That's sick. All right. Shout out to Jared B. Good Lord have mercy. I mean, that is insane. Wow. Okay. That's pretty sick. Okay, there we go. All right, there's an investment in the New York Jets. Appreciate it. Now that we've sort of have our logo and brands and everything down pat, it's good to see that. But oh my good Lord, that's an incredible place. Duhan says, I never realized how bad the old one was until I saw this update. That's what I'm saying. I thought the old one was dandy, fine. I don't know. I guess you don't know what you don't know. And then I just saw the upgrades, the LED screens and everything else that they have here. I mean, this is absolutely sick. Wow. Oh, my goodness. They have more details. So, okay, I can read you guys some of the details, apparently. From custom lockers to a 2,000-pound jet ceiling logo to a new barbershop, player space undergoes comprehensive upgrade, according to Jets insider, team insider Eric Allen. Okay, here they are. When Jets players reported for training camp today, they were greeted with a new state-of-the-art locker room. The renovation features 92 new customized lockers, a new wet area, larger sauna, and barber shop. Okay, here's a quote from Robert Mastrati, the club's senior vice president of security and facility operations. The locker room in every player space has always been important to ownership and management. We take pride in having a first-class environment for the players. These upgrades will certainly provide more comfort, but they will also help with wellness, efficiency, and ultimately performance. There is a commitment to winning, and that's where this is all derived from. The refigured locker room features 92 full-size lockers made of veneer, melamine, and stainless steel. The 1,000-pound lockers designed by the Texas-based Longhorn Locker Company are equipped with electronically controlled video screens and 3 separate fans for shoulder pads, helmets, and cleats that will dry the equipment. Whoa. The forced air ventilation will reduce moisture and lessen the risks of staph infections and MRSA. Mastrati said, we are the first pro team or NCAA team to implement a fully automated video display in the lockers. We customize the content on the screen, and it's all interchangeable. If there's a change to a schedule or a point that maybe Coach Glenn wants emphasized, that can be programmed into the lockers. This is insane. No detail is too small. The Jets design every locker as if its space was the player's own room at One Jets Drive. Quote, more from Mastrati. Players will sit inside the lockers with plush custom seats with a Jets logo embroidered in the back part of the headrest. Each locker has USB outlets for charging, a Sonos system for music throughout the locker room. Players are going to love. It's got a sharp green LED strip light underneath the locker, so it's recessed. We need to think about everything from the smallest to the biggest. We made sure we had a large enough cup holder in there that will accommodate their protein shakes if they want to bring it in there. The Jets swapped in a bigger sauna, replacing a steam room that was rarely used. We want our players to stay healthy and recover faster. If there's anything we can do to ensure the wellness and maintain and improve performance, we are going to do it. Wow. And here's more. From an aesthetic standpoint, the locker room ceiling and hallways were also transformed. It's a 230 square foot ceiling Jets logo that weighs a ton. It's a 3-dimensional logo with over 500 lights along the entire ceiling and backlit and front lit. The hallway has a black textured wallpaper with green LEDs running throughout the entire hallway and out the door into the infield house with 2 separate logos. One is the New York logo that's lit up, and the other is the Jets' primary logo that's lit up. Wow. This is spectacular. So a massive salute to the gosh darn New York Jets. Holy friggin' crap. That is okay. And Ricky New York says, BG, it's pronounced MRSA, and it's brutal. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Yes. I am not a doctor, and I only play one every once in a while here on Boy Green Daily. So just to clarify that. Wow. Shout out to the New York Jets. Stephen Fox, is there a button for Diet Cokes? I don't know. Jared B says, how did they keep that under wraps? That's the important thing, right? Because, unless the Jets players are just not going into the lockers, or I don't know how long this took. I would imagine forever. Yeah, I don't know how they kept that under wraps. That is unbelievable. That is, wow. Whoa. Holy friggin' crap. So, okay, there you go. For Lillian Big D says, so that's at their Florham Park facility, not MetLife Stadium, correct? That's a good point. Yeah, the locker room would be at MetLife. So I think it's both, I believe, from what I understood about it. I believe that is both. Yeah, because their locker room would be at the stadium, I would assume. So yes, that part is there, but also a lot of this other. Well, I guess there's the locker room for both, right? There's a locker room for the actual stadium, and then there's a locker room for the One Atlantic Jets Drive. So I guess both. I mean, wow, unbelievable. So there you go. A big salute to the New York Jets. That's every adjective I've ever said ever about Zoinks and this or that or the other. So that is terrific. Wow, just great. All right, without further ado, after all that, a 53-man roster prediction, brand new Jets facilities. This is amazing. Let's open up the phone lines. We'll take a halftime out. Your phone calls. Jets training camp is here, baby. It is bleeping here. Let's go. We'll play a quick Hep song, and we'll take your phone calls next as we get ready for Jets bleeping training camp. Let's go.
Boy Green, bugging daily, bugging daily, bugging daily. Talking Jets football, man. Boy Green, bugging daily, bugging daily, bugging daily. New York Jets Football Club. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green. J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets. Let's go.
Unbelievable. And I am just filled with joy and excitement and that new training camp feeling smell, baby. You know what I mean? Let's go. Absolutely amazing. So let's ride. Okay, without further ado, we got 300 plus people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe if you guys are watching on YouTube. Let's hop on over to the phone lines. Now, wait just a second. This isn't a Friday. It's a Tuesday. What's going on here? I must have had one of those Grubhub orders that arrives early. Okay, I understand. Okay, here we are. Philly Noodles. What's going on, man?
What's up? This is faux noodles, right? This is like the fake noodles.
Yes, yeah. You know, not the real thing, but we'll do what we can with it. So appreciate it. Okay, a pleasant surprise. What's going on?
Not much. My son leaves today for the summer back to Florida with his mother. So, yeah, I'm working from home today. You know what I mean?
Okay, nice.
Again,
okay.
So it's 2 days from home. I appreciate it. You know?
Yeah, sure. There you go.
Catch BG twice. You're killing it.
Hey, now. There we go, baby.
So let's get some understood real fast.
Okay.
I would like to be the barber if I could cut hair there. Jesus Christ.
Oh
Imagine
God.
the money you get.
Yeah. How's that gig? Right? All the Jets players just come in. You're just talking shop about the Jets. You're in this sweet state-of-the-art facility. This is sick.
Dude, I mean, the amount of money you make it. Like, listen, contemporary haircut. Dude like myself, I'm walking in nowadays. I remember as a kid, you know, what, $15, $20 tops. I'm spending myself $50. So I can only imagine what these guys are, you know, just their tips are probably $100. They're giving you $150.
I would imagine, right? You know,
they need more chairs, is what they need.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And I hope that is at MetLife, because if that is not at MetLife, that's a disservice. It would be
because I'm trying to understand, because I could just be an idiot in the moment. I'm not thinking because we're in the middle of a show. But they said when the players report, let me make sure I read this again for what this says. Let's see. When Jets players reported for training camp at the Atlantic Health Jets Training Center on Tuesday, they were agreed with it. So, yeah, this is at the Atlantic Health. So this is One Jets Drive. This is not MetLife Stadium.
Because they practice. And
I
guess I get it. Yeah,
but I would imagine they're going to do it. Why wouldn't they do it for this? You know, that may be another surprise, right? Jets aren't at MetLife Stadium right now, and they show up, and this is another thing, maybe, you know?
I don't think so, because, I mean, with that contingency of splitting it between, you know, the Giants, I don't think so. So that's a good take, though. Yeah, it is definitely just One Jets Drive at Atlantic. Yeah. It is what it is. All right, so whoever it is, Indy, whoever else thinks, I know you have Clemens on the roster because we have to, but Clemens – again, is going to be an eyesore, and I think in midseason, if not earlier, they're going to have to cut him. Even though he got that roster bonus, right? It was $3 million probably already. I would try to trade him for, you know, a fifth, sixth round, whatever you can get for him. Just get rid of him, because he's just going to eat space of a guy who can laterally move. My son's flag football team might move quicker, honestly, laterally than Michael Clemens. It's just he cannot stop a bloody run if it's fake to one side. The guy just don't have it. He has forward and no backward movement. And he's long, so you would assume he can even grab somebody, but he's not it. He hasn't been it. And the fact that he's still on the roster is it's egregious. I thought Moogie and whoever may have you could have, unless what's his name, see something completely different out of him. And I'm not even talking Aaron Glenn. I'm talking what's his name,
Who, Steve Wilkes?
Steve Wilkes. Yeah, if Wilkes is something completely different, I'm sorry. There's got to be a way to allocate. I'd rather bring in, and this sounds stupid, I'd rather bring in Noah Fant and get rid of Clemens and spending $3 million that way, which is not even like we don't need to allocate it to that.
Right.
But I don't understand. You know what I mean? There's no way in heaven that he's still on the team. And Indy, that's my guy, and I'm going to see him this season, definitely in Charlotte. There's no way. Indy's like, he's going to have 10+ sacks. No. I think Quincy will have more sacks by the end of the season than him.
You think Quincy will have more sacks than who?
Michael Clemens.
Oh, maybe. The thing that Randy was talking to, again, Randy Lang, the Jets senior contributor, he said the Jets don't use Quincy enough in the blitzing game. They certainly should. Well, what did Clemens have, 4.5 last year or something? That was a career high.
Yeah. There was also some ragtime,
sure, right. We can comb over, right? Sacks can be sacks, and then you comb over it. For instance, the rookie the Jets drafted in the 5th round, Tyler Barron, right? He has whatever number he had, 4, 5, 6 sacks, but he had 4 of them against some slapdick D2 team, and we're like, okay, well, and that it's like FAU, International Technical Institute. That's where he had most of his sacks this year. Which again, you comb through it, and that's not it. But so yeah, I'm not saying Michael Clemens is the second coming of Derek Thomas, but the only thing is the Jets did nothing. They did zip and outside of Tyler Barron, who was basically Mr. Irrelevant. It's not like they used a 1st round pick or a 2nd round pick or a 3rd round pick or a 4th round pick, a 5th rounder on a guy who is interesting, and he made my roster, but. They did bupkis. They didn't bring in a Jadeveon Clowney. They didn't bring in anybody. No, it's not too late. There's players out there, so maybe something else will happen.
And that's why me and Alan have gone at it where he's like, Nadi's not like a terrific pick. I'm like, no, you're right, but they brought in Nadi as okay, so like a good secondary runner next to player next to Quinnen. But it honestly, in all reality, it isn't the greatest. No, and it's like so that's why. We do understand what Moogie said and what Aaron said. They're going to continue to try to make this team better no matter what they can do. So to me, the blood would be in the water if we're winning, right, and we're producing, and Michael Clemens still ain't doing his thing, and we need maybe some more help with Quinnen, and let's say we have a chance somewhere in October they smell maybe we got a December run. Don't be shocked if they go make a trade to go get themselves somebody. On the line. That's what I would assume, honestly, because D-line, as we know, is one of those these teams are trading D-linemen all the time, because you can just be like the hot name coming out of college. I'll just draft that. To me, that's what D-line ends up being. We have our book ends. That's the whole point. So if you need to trade, if you can trade Nadi and trade Clemens and go get yourself somebody who's on an expiring contract for, a playoff run, or even see who's available still in free agency, because, there's probably still some guys out there. But, I don't know. I'm not settled with Clemens and Nadi 100% no. And I don't think anybody should be. And I still see it as one of the weaker parts on the team. But, Yep.
And I don't disagree. I think the depth at defensive end and defensive tackle maybe can go, oh, boy, God, I hope there's not an injury to either of those. Quinnen gets hurt. What the fuck are we doing at defensive tackle? That scares the shit out of me. Defensive end, Jermaine's already hurt, if you want to call it that, coming off the Achilles. We don't know what he's going to be. I hope he's fully healthy. I hope he's awesome, but there's at least a chance we look sideways and go, he may not be 100% right from the get-go, which it would be a reasonable thing to say. And then so it's Will McDonald and Michael Clemens as your starters. That's where we're at right now.
Oh, and everybody, buckle up.
What?
This whole season, I feel like there's going to be a periscope, a giant scope on Brees versus Braylon. And people thinking that, listen, I don't even care what kind of year Brees has. If Brees is expecting what he thinks he might want to get paid, we're not paying him that. No running back gets paid what they expect to get paid. It's just that's a quote unquote, that's a reality. Okay. They just don't. So everyone should be aware that Braylon is younger by a lot, and they'll just move forward with Braylon, I think, honestly. You can always
That's
just
my.
package him with a
I've got a
smaller guy.
weird feeling. Yeah, I got a weird
Yeah.
feeling that Braylon's going to at some point take over. Is it because, again, you can lose your job in a lot of ways? Alex Smith was going crazy for the 49ers. He gets a concussion. Harbaugh goes, hey, who's this Colin Kaepernick guy? Slapped him on the ass, brought him in. Alex never got his job back. And Alex was like, we were freaking awesome. What the hell? And it doesn't matter. It could be happenstance. It could be a legitimate benching. There could be all kinds of reasons you could lose your job. So, yeah, I've got a weird feeling Braylon takes over at some point for Brees too, but we'll see.
Yeah, and Brees, no matter what everyone thinks, look back at all the games. He does take plays off, man. He takes plays off. You can smell it, you can see it, and it is what it is. But I wish the best for the kid. I mean, even if he has a great season, good, because it benefits us, and if it benefits him in a contract wherever else he can go, good for him. But we're not retaining him at $20 million a year, $15 million a year. It's just I doubt it. I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, that's my take.
All right. Fair enough.
Noodles
Well,
Thank you,
thanks for
BG.
coming in, buddy. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you. Some Philly noodles coming up here on the show. Okay, beautiful. Let's keep rolling on the phone lines here. Up next, we've got EZ. What's up, EZ? EZ? You're on mute, but you're not on mute. You're not like on mute on my side, but no sound is coming to whatever you're doing. Oh, he maybe has a button to press. Okay, nope, you're still on mute. Get nothing. We'll come back to you, Easy. I don't know what's going on there with your. Okay. I think still no sound coming on your side. All right, let's go next here. Ricky, New York Live. What's up, Ricky?
Hey, what's happening, Paul?
Hey, what is up?
I understand that running backs don't usually get the big extensions. That's the reality. But I think we've gone a little bit far with this. You can get a running back anywhere narrative, whatever. Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this. In his career thus far as a New York Jet, what is Braylon Allen's longest career carry? Like
maybe. Oh, I can't remember if this was a preseason game or not, so this may not count. And actually, the more I think about it, it was definitely a preseason game. I think it was the Giants on a halfback sweep to the left toss. He had like a 24-yard run. So now I'm trying to think of what it would have been in the regular season.
Season.
No, I get preseason doesn't count. No, I'm just saying in my head, I'm trying to think of whatever that play would be. I don't know, but that could be easily found out. Do you know it?
No.
Oh, okay. I'll find it out right now. Yeah. Let me see here. Yeah, that'll be on his stat page here. So let's see. What do you think it is if you had to guess?
23?
20. 20. He had a 20-yarder, apparently, in his rookie season. That was the longest he's had.
Okay, so his longest carry is 20 yards.
Yep.
And he's getting. Yep. We're just gonna get rid of Brees because this kid can take his place. Look at the carry that Brees had against the Packers. That was like the draw play where he was all boxed in and he just pinballed off of everyone and took it to the house. Look at what he did the next week versus Denver. Like, do you realize that the play before he got hurt, that play in Denver, one handoff, and he carried it more than 3 times the longest carry Braylon Allen has ever had. There is a reason that Brees was picked at the top of the second, almost the first, because we were trying to trade back into the first to get him.
Correct. Right.
And Braylon Allen was a 5th. Okay. Yeah. And no disrespect to Braylon Allen. I like him, but Brees is a much better back. So he takes plays off. Oh, you mean the guy who wasn't completely healthy, who was being misused by idiot coaches behind a patchwork offensive line with the worst offensive line coach easily in the entire league. That's your analysis that you did, just bad, man. Like, I think we're going to see a different Brees this year. I think we've got coaches who actually know how to use them. You know, not some idiot coordinator that's going to take, you know, the better part of 3 months to figure out the guy can catch a ball.
And real quick, I just want to correct this. Brees' longest was 42. That's not true. In his career, he's had an 83-yarder. So he's had all kinds of long runs. Maybe last year was 42 was his longest Indy. I don't know that, but I would say for his longest for his career.
Yeah, I was about to say that Kerry in Denver was 73.
Okay, yeah, he's talking about last year. So the Brees 42-yarder was last year. Okay, that's fair. Yep. Compare it to what Braylon's had, that's fair. Okay.
Yeah, again, not completely healthy and behind a Keith Carter line, I don't think is a fair criteria to evaluate him under. Like, let's see how he is this year. And
sure.
I have a funny feeling that all the trade Brees people are going to be changing their minds by, you know, mid-October. But
we have a question for you. So let's send this in. This is from our guy Philly Noodles here, and appreciate it. Thank you for sending in the super chat. Let's ask this question.
Wow.
Philly Noodles, a $2 super chat. Thank you very much. He says, Ricky, do you think they're paying him? He's talking about Brees Hall, 18 plus million per year. LOL.
Nope.
What do you think the number is?
I don't think he gets that anyway.
From the Jets or another team?
If he has a really good year, I could see, you know, if he were to hit the open market, which I don't think he will, I could see him getting maybe between 13 and 15. However, he has a good year. The Jets are going to tag him, milk him for one more year, and then probably send him down the road because that's just the reality of the running back position.
Sure.
But you know, to the whole Braylon Allen's going to overtake him thing, like I'm not buying that. I'm not drinking that Kool-Aid.
Okay.
Sorry, just can't.
That's
do
fine.
It.
Yeah, we don't have to drink the same Kool-Aid. That's fine.
By the way, I wanted to say thank you for popping into our first show the other day.
Oh, congratulations, buddy! That wow, what a riveting success! Congrats, man.
Yeah, it was really only supposed to be an hour, and kind of I decided to go ahead and do a live show because, like, I kept hearing Jake saying, like, oh, StreamYard has changed everything, and I'm thinking, oh, great, right as I'm getting ready to start doing stuff. And, like, fortunately for me, I mean, I've only got a couple of video clips, so you know, when you've only got like 3, it's real easy to find which one's which.
That's true, right? I know what Jake complains about. I know exactly what he's talking about. Yeah,
dude, Jake's got over 500 video clips. He's got like 5 different folders with over 100 in each, and it's like, I don't know how he can find anything, and the speed with which he does it.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Like me and him can be talking, and I'll be like mid sentence, and it's like bam, like he's pulling up the congrats on the sex, or you know what?
Yeah,
whatever.
Right. That's impressive. I don't know how he does it that fast. I'm jealous.
He truly is a master when it comes to that, and you know, and granted, you know, he's got a leg up on most of us anyway, being a professional radio guy and everything.
Yeah, right. That helps. Sure.
However, radio don't, you know, teach you to do that kind of stuff on StreamYard.
They do not. Self-taught, I would imagine he is on that.
But you know what? He's been doing this for several years, and now cranking out, you know, a couple of shows a day for the better part of a year. Practice makes perfect. So, you know,
that's for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, he is so good at that. Like, there have been several times where we're like in the middle of a conversation and it'll be like bam, and it's like, damn, I haven't even seen that video clip in like 2 years. How did he find that so fast? But yeah, anyways, yeah, I had to call in and like the Brees thing, it boggles my mind, and I'm curious to see how this roster is going to shake out. I have a little bit different take.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know about Pritchard.
Okay. That's fair.
However, if Corley doesn't want to get his act together and Gibson doesn't want to improve, I'll tell you what.
What's that?
We'll let one of those individuals walk, and we can give a roster spot to Pokey Wilson, my boy,
There you go.
who is still with the team right now.
Yeah.
Can return kicks and punts, by the way.
Mhm.
And he was a weird signing, man. It was like post Ulbrich, but pre Glenn. Like that was like the one like Phil Savage move, like kind of in the middle of everything. But the fact that he's still here and still hanging around, I think is a good sign. And man, I'll tell you what, I remember in one of the LSU games, Trev's like dropped back to throw it and got hit. I mean, labeled, had his head taken off as he was throwing it, but launched it like 40-something yards down the field. And Pokey Wilson like just one-handed it and then did like the Dion high step in the end zone. And I was like, damn. And the guy that he roasted on that touchdown catch, Jared Bernard Converse.
Oh, that's unnecessary. That's unnecessary.
You know what? I didn't even realize that until like after we signed Pokey Wilson, and I went back and I was
highlights.
Send that highlight to somebody, and then I saw who it was that was covering him, and I was like, "Oh, ouch!" You know. And at that point, it was jet on jet violence because they were both on the team.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that at the time, but you know what? He's an interesting player, and I honestly would like to see him get a shot. I don't know how much he would do for us, you know, as a receiver. He is a little bit smaller guy, but I'll tell you what, as a returner, he sure as hell couldn't be any worse than Gibson has been, you know.
That's what I'm saying. I just think there's a lot of opportunities. And how do they split it? Are some just being kick returners, some being punt returners, or some going to do both? Kane Guanu, Jamal Pritchett, Arian Smith. There's been those rumors that Chris Banjo is going to experiment with him back there. How does that affect roster spots? So like that'll be interesting to me to see how they end up choosing to handle the return game.
Yeah, and Guanu's an interesting guy. I'm kind of glad to see, you know, that he's here. I mean, I don't know. Like, I just don't see Gibson putting up that big of a fight to keep that spot. I mean, I'm pretty sure all those other guys that we just mentioned can go and fair catch it, which is what Gibson does damn near every time. Like,
that's so deflating, you know?
Yeah. So I don't know. And I don't mean to bash Gibson, but like, I don't know. He just hasn't done enough for me. Like I always keep hoping that he'll take a step, but he doesn't. You know, it's like kind of like one step forward and one step back, and he's still just kind of what he was when he got here. So
it's a fair point, Ricky, and I would just say that on Xavier, that him having that, so him being the hard knock story, oh, wow, he made the team, touchy-feely. Oh, wow, he has the punt return touchdown in his first game ever to win the game, and then it's just been all downhill from there. But go ahead, Ricky, finish up. What do you got?
That was pretty much it. I don't see,
okay.
I don't see a lot of big surprises, but the one thing is, just like everybody is talking about Noah Fant right now because he just got released, and maybe we could use the tight end. For all those people that think we maybe still need a defensive tackle or a defensive end or another receiver, guess what? Noah Fant is the first domino of many to fall because all the teams have got to cut down rosters. There's going to be a lot of guys that get their walking papers and end up available. So the fact that we haven't signed anybody yet means absolutely nothing. Training camp is here now. We get to see how these guys look with pads on, and either guys are going to step up and take that job, or they'll find somebody that wants it. So, and
Good
there's going
message.
to be good players that become available in the very near future here. So if we find ourselves in a position where we need to add, there will be somebody there.
I think so, Ricky. I think so. All right. Good call. Good call coming in here. All right. Let's go back to the phone lines. We got Bubba Badshaw here on the show. What's up, Badshaw?
Paul, I wanted to ask you
Yes.
if I could show everybody my big cucumber.
Yeah, sure. Why not? I guess. Oh, Jesus. Wow. Okay. Your wife must be a very happy woman.
She actually grew this.
Wow. Okay. I bet she
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
Yeah. She Reese came in the other night and she's like, "Mom's got your big cucumber out there," and I was like, "What?" And so, anyway, I was like, you're like kind of listening to your kid, but you're kind of not. And you're like, "Wait, what
Yeah.
did you just say?" And anyway,
Yeah.
so I was listening to your predictions.
Sure. Yeah.
I liked them.
Okay.
I would
Thank you.
say, some of them aren't making franchise mode on Madden qualifications. You've got to have like 6 linebackers and 10
That's true. There's
offensive
minimum
linemen.
requirements. That's true. I got a little cute there with some of those.
Yeah, I like it. I like it though. I liked everybody you had on there. I'm really I'm looking forward to Donovan Edwards.
Oh yeah.
Has there been much news on him lately? I don't hear a lot.
The only thing I heard, I mean, obviously we're coming out of this big gap where there wasn't practice or anything going on, but the last we heard of what we saw, I wasn't there, but what other people saw is they said he looked really good. So that was arrow pointing up. But again, the real stuff, pads coming on inevitably that won't, everyone's not going to have full pads today. But, once they eventually slap on the pads and get going here, we'll see what he does with this opportunity. I think there is an RB4 job to have, and I'm not talking about Kane Nguanu. I think there is a legitimate RB4 job to have, and we'll see. There's Zach Evans on this team. There's a couple other cats that are battling, and we'll see. But to me, I think I think he has the best chance.
I got you. And I just got one more question.
Sure, yeah, man.
So we've talked. I've heard you say the NFL's talked about going to 18 games.
Mm-hmm. Feels inevitable. Mm-hmm.
Do you think they'll ever bump up the roster like to where it's like maybe 60 men or 7? Do you think they'll ever do that, or do you think
100%?
Yeah,
I think all of it's on the table. Once you get I think that's part of the natural progression of the 18th game conversation. Expanded rosters, a second bye week, and then sort of how that operates. I think eventually we're getting to every team in the NFL is going to have an international game where and it's just worked in the schedule. I don't know if it's always going to be week 4, week 5, week 6. That probably will have flexibility, but every team, it'll just be a part of the job is that everyone goes to London once every year. Everyone goes to Germany, whatever it is. Or maybe they're all different. I'm not sure. I think that's going to happen inevitably. So yes, roster expansion has to, because you add one more game to everybody. Think about 2 teams smacking against each other for an additional 60 minutes that wasn't there before. People are going to get banged up. People are going to get hurt. And it would be naive to just say, this 53 thing's pretty good. Like, no. Like, the practice squad numbers have gone up. Like, they weren't always 16-man practice squad. So those numbers have increased. So, yeah, I fully anticipate that has to be a part of the process. What that number is it 53 to 55? Is it 53 to 60? Is it 53 to 65? I don't know. But, yeah, I think that's good for business. I look forward to that in Madden and our conversations. I think that is inevitable too.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool to just be like, look, if we have a number open, then we can have a guy on the team. I know that'll never happen, but anyway, maybe one of these days we can get I don't know if an international team will ever, we get a team in London or Mexico or somewhere. But anyway, man, well, glad talking to you, buddy.
I love seeing you, Badshaw, and shout out to you and your wife and that abnormally large cucumber and whatever you guys plan on doing with it. That is your business. All right, we got 400 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe here on the show. All right, let's give a discount double check to this guy, EZ, here on the show. EZ?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay, we got you. I don't know what that was, but we have it now. Okay, great.
I don't know if you remember back when the USFL first started back in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
They had 18-game season.
Oh, I did not remember that. Okay.
I went actually when I was out in living in the San Francisco area at that time,
Mm-hmm.
back in I think it was the summer of 1984, and I actually saw an Oakland Invaders game.
That's amazing. I love that.
And there was a guy sitting behind me.
Uh-huh.
He was an Oakland Raider, and he showed us his Super Bowl ring. I'm trying to remember. I think it was Lester Hayes.
Sure.
Lester the Molester Hayes, and he showed us his Super Bowl ring. And we asked him, "What do you think of this league?" He goes, "We'll see what happens. It all depends on the money." That was what he said. It all depends on the money. But I think to answer what Bad Show was saying about expanding the roster for an 18 game, we definitely have to go to a second bye week, and maybe we keep everything the same, except instead of having 53 men on the roster and only dressing 48 for the game, maybe they'll just be able to dress all 53 players for each game.
Oh, maybe that's a good point. Right, instead of the 45 active game day roster, maybe.
No more healthy scratches.
Okay, there you go.
And that would be probably the simplest way to add more players to the team without actually adding to the payroll. Just everybody dresses. You made the team, you dress. And then you still, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 50. You got an extra 5 players on the team on the sideline in case you need them. And then you can carry a third quarterback. Then you can carry the extra, if you think it's going to be a running game, you definitely bring an extra offensive lineman, is ready to go. You'll have that extra added flexibility.
To be honest, I don't know why to this day that we have this active thing. I mean, it's a good conversation piece on game days. Ooh, who's going to be active or inactive? And I got to pay attention to it. So maybe the NFL likes that. But besides that, I have no idea why we have 53 guys on the roster and then 5 of them, for no apparent reason, just, don't even put on the jersey.
To play,
now. Like what?
Yeah, I mean, they may as well be in the. If you only have 48 on the field, then you may as well just have 48-man team. But that doesn't make any sense. I think I think the simplest thing for them to do, and probably the Players Association would probably be on board with this, actually, is just dress your guys. Just dress them all.
Yeah.
That would solve that problem. You'll have an extra 5 players on the team for an extra game. And then, like you said, the extra bye week. And then and I think one other thing we need to do, they need to go back to having the Pro Bowl at the end of the season in Hawaii, and have it at the end of the season. This way, the guys that are in the Super Bowl don't have to
make business decisions. Right? It's stupid. I know. Yeah.
No. If they're playing, let the season end. Let the Super Bowl happen. Then have the Pro Bowl afterwards in Hawaii. That truly rewards the players and their families. They get that beautiful trip to Hawaii. They get to play in the game. Maybe they modify it. Maybe they don't make it flag football. Maybe they just make it, just kind of tackle and hold, and everybody on the offense knows once you get grabbed, stop running. None of the nonsense. We don't want people getting hurt. Or maybe they play like the tackle football. They
still do the flag football, which is what it sort of turned into. Maybe that's what it continues as.
But maybe they just play the game in their uniforms without the pads, so that they wear the helmets, but they don't
shells.
just.
No, I get what you're saying.
Make it more like a football game. Only it's more like a practice where you don't freaking drag the guy to the ground. No hitting the quarterbacks. Just kind of simplify the game a little bit. We already know they don't have blitzes in those games because it's just simplify the game a little bit because it's supposed to be a fun game. But put it at the end of the season so that the playoff teams don't get penalized and don't get to go to the game. I think it's terrible.
That would be cool.
The old format was the best. Look, baseball did the same thing this year. They went back to letting the players wear their uniforms, their team uniform. Remember, for a while there, the baseball players had to wear these stupid all-star uniforms.
Oh yeah, I hated those.
I hated that. And now this year they went back to letting them wear their uniforms.
Their teams, which makes sense. That's what the All-Star is. We're getting all these All-Stars from all these different teams all together. It makes sense. Yes.
the other thing I want to bring up is, I was when I heard that what's his name became available, Fant became available. I was all set to jump on it, but then I heard, was that Bad Show who was up just last? Who was up?
Yes,
just
I
before
believe
me?
so. Yeah, bad show.
And he mentioned that a lot of teams are going to be releasing players. So maybe the prudent thing for the Jets
Oh,
to
Ricky
do
said
is,
that, right? Ricky New York said
Ricky,
that about all the people getting cut, and there's going to be more options. Yeah,
it's probably prudent to just sit back and then gauge and see what is out there, because there are going to be some very good players let go. There always are.
Sure.
Sometimes they're not just let go. Sometimes they're a great player, but the guy that they drafted or the guy that they traded for or someone underneath them develops and just surpasses them, and now these guys are making buku bucks, but they're not really utilizing them. Or new coaching change, you go from a 3-4 to a 4-3, and you have an extra linebacker now, and what are you going to do with that extra linebacker? And he's a good run stopper, but you're in a division that has all the other teams are passing offenses, so you don't maybe need that run stopper, whereas the Jets might feel they need that extra run stopper, so then they can go and get him. What did we pick in the draft? I'm trying to remember. Seventh. So that means only 6 teams in front of us can claim a waiver guy before us. So we still have an opportunity to get a decent waiver guy. So maybe, he's right that we should just wait a little bit. But I still, even with that, I would still love to at least reach out to Clowney's agent and
that's what
reach
I
out
love
to
Clowney, yeah.
and reach out to Fant's agent, because I'm telling you, if I had Clowney, I would put him right next to Quinnen Williams. I would have him as a tackle.
Hey,
I would
you
put
can
him
totally
a defensive tackle. He's big enough. He's strong enough. The only thing I'm worried about is he won't be able to wear number 90 because Dennis Bird's retired.
Of course, that's true. He would have to get over that part, yes.
Yeah. I mean, and he'd have to understand. I mean, Dennis Bird was a beloved Jet, and he basically his career died on the field in Kansas City when he got jammed by Scott Mercereau. They were trying to pancake the quarterback, and they just went, and he just. I was at my cousin's house out in where did my cousin live? Not Comac. Yeah, it was Comac, and we were watching the game, and we were like, everyone. It was a bunch of us. We're all Jet fans. This is out in Suffolk County, which is really Jet territory. I mean, Nassau County is Jets and Giants. New York City is Giants, but out in Suffolk County, I was all long-haired rock and roll Jet fans.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we were watching that game, and it killed the party. It killed the party. Yeah, I mean, it was definitely. Well, wouldn't it have been a buzzkill if you were at a party and saw that?
I would imagine so. Yeah.
But anyway, I would love to see Clowney on our team as a tackle.
Okay.
Because that would turn it kind of into like a NASCAR package almost. With
1,000%. You had Will McDonald, Jermaine Johnson, Quinnen Williams, Clowney. Hell yeah, that'd be insane.
And because we all know Clowney is good against the run.
He's very good against the run. Yes.
I think that would be such a good fit for the Jets for this season if he'd be willing to come here. Now, some people were saying he only wants to win, but then why did he go to the Panthers last year?
That's a good point.
To have his grandma's home cooking. I'm sorry, but I can get that. That he wants to be closer to home, but come on, New York, it's 500 miles away. Come on, you just get on a plane. It takes an hour and a half on the plane to get down here.
That's a great pitch by EZ. Let's try to see if we can get Jadeveon Clowney, baby. We got 400 people in the room. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe. Let's head back to the phone lines. Johnny Boy here on the program, looking dapper once again. What's up, Johnny?
Hey, what up, EG? I was hearing you guys, and I just wanted to get on real quick.
Sure, yeah.
I might be one of the only few that does not want Fant, because I think it's pointless if I'm being 100% honest with you.
Oof. All right.
We get him. Where is he gonna go?
Tight end 2. Replace Ruckert
over younger cats and all that. Why did he get dropped from the last
cap savings? They saved a bunch of money by doing it. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just can't see it, bro. Not what they're trying to build. What's his age?
Good question. I wrote it for a story, but let me do a discount double check on it. He's still in his 20s, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he's 27.
Okay, well, I mean, I can't do it, bro.
Fair enough.
Just rock with the cats that we got that has been with us since day one. And then the Clowney thing, this might be one of the ones that might get me, like, beat up, but I welcome it. I don't want him, bro.
What? Why? Why don't you want Jadeveon Clowney?
He's a mercenary, man. That dude's going to want to come over here to get paid.
All right.
And do we
that's fine.
Are we going to want to do that to pay him? Or would we rather pay somebody else, like a bigger wide receiver or anything like that?
I guess.
I mean, because I feel like we have players there that we're not talking about, man. Like, we keep saying about run stuffers, but we got some big-ass dudes that are in there that are not getting the benefit of the doubt yet, especially if we're believing in Aaron Glenn to potentially get the best out of these players. So I think when you make a move like that is if we're essentially making the playoffs and trying to make that push for a Super Bowl run, or are we at that point? I don't think so, man. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't do it, but that's just my opinion. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to come up here to say that. So
I appreciate that, Johnny. And welcome back to your partner in crime coming back to the United States of America. No call from Snowball. We must still be going through customs, which I understand. So safe travels to our guy Italy.
Yeah, I want to welcome back from the United States of America to our very own son, bred and born here out in the Long Island area, Mr. Snowball. Welcome back, baby.
God
He's
bless.
Back.
He's back. Thanks, Johnny. Appreciate you. Jets Worldwide, baby. Wide. Make sure you guys subscribe to their YouTube channel, baby, here on the program. Let's give Johnny one of these. All right, everybody. I will make sure, if you guys are watching this after the fact, in moments, I will upload the 53-man roster prediction article that accompanies this video. It'll be in the YouTube description down below. Read more here. You guys can check out the full thing. Feel free to let your comments fly here on YouTube, whether you agree or disagree. Hope you guys disagree. Feel free. Let me know what parts I fucked up, and I'll try to see if I can fix that. I'm not going to change it. We fixed it, but comment and debate about it, and maybe you guys can make me feel a little bit differently about it. So feel free. That's going to be great. Again, guys, make sure you guys check out. I'll make sure I share it in the YouTube post section, but I did a full hour interview. It's me and my radio partner, now digital partner, Jim the Man-Child Lurch. We did a full Jets training camp preview with Randy Lang for an hour. That will not be on this Boy Green channel. It's exclusively on the Man-Child Show with Boy Green digital channel. So guys, check out that full hour. Great conversation with Randy. My first time ever doing like an interview session with him. We've only known of each other and we've texted and stuff, but we've never done a show together. So long overdue, baby, for that. We'll continue to have Jets training camp coverage, so keep an eye out for that. I might have a special live show coming up at 11 o'clock. Keep an eye out for that here on this channel with some Jets and food sort of combining together. More on that in a bit. There might be another live show coming up here on the channel as well. Plus, Boy Green Meets Woody, that'll be coming up at 3 o'clock. So we got a ton of content coming up here on the channel, and we'll keep it tuned to all things Jets training camp. Happy Jets training camp to everybody. Like the video, hit subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, and help us as we make our chase to 8,000 subs. We're less than 200 subscribers away. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and we will see you. Whoa. Let me try to get to this guy who's been trying to call into the show. Wait, before I shut the barn doors. He's been giving takes in the comment section. Wait just a second. Before we officially end the program. Indy Jets is back. Indy, you had a take, and then I went to go to you one time, and then you were off the couch, and I'm like, now we got you. Okay.
Yeah, I had some phone calls. I had to make it.
Okay, I understand.
wasn't sure. Yeah,
that's right.
So I'm just gonna make it quick.
Sure. Okay.
My Clemens take.
Okay, Michael Clemens. Yeah.
Yeah.
The defensive end. Yep.
Michael Clemens. He's not the brightest bulb in the closet. That's for sure. But
Okay.
physically,
What a great way to
he-
start that. Yeah. Okay.
but physically, he's also not the greatest tight. He's also not a very good tight end for the wide nine. He didn't have enough speed.
Mm-hmm. That's
Okay.
right. Yep.
We're not running the wide nine this year. And I don't think we'll run it one. I doubt if we'll run it one time this year.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I don't know that I can't.
I just don't think that's not part of that's never been part of AG's. Thing about Sala and Yolbrick is they stuck with that wide nine no matter who was in there, and that's not good coaching. You coach, you kind of design your scheme around the talent of the players. And they tried to fit the players into their scheme, and even when they didn't fit, they still ran with it.
Mm-hmm.
Clemens is going to be the kind of guy that this year they're going to give him two roles, and they're going to at pre-snap they're going to yell out whether it be Sherwood or Quincy, either one of them. It'd be like Peyton Manning back there yelling Omaha. And that's going to mean something to Clemens. And he's going to have one job and one job only, whatever it is. If your job is to go set the edge, that's all I need you to do right now. Because Quincy will take care of the center. We'll take the center gap. You take the edge. Or they yell out something else that clicks in his brain that says, go after the quarterback. We do not care about the edge. We don't care about the running back. We just want you to focus on this and go get it. And because he's not, obviously we all can agree, I think, at least on Clemens' part, that I don't think anybody will argue this, that his football mentality is not real high. But it's
like his intelligence you're talking about?
Yeah. Okay. His immaturity, flipping off fans, him just doing stupid shit.
Sure. Yeah,
I don't think
track record of that.
But he won't get away with that under AG.
I would imagine not.
No, and I think that having a mature coach, having a mature leader, and you saw last year, the entire defense just went brain dead on a lot of plays because they didn't have good leadership. They've got great leadership now, and you can see I think you'll see Clemens take a huge step forward.
Okay.
And I still think that we're going to be a 40+ sack between JJ, McDonald, Quinnen, and Clemens. He might have that. He might be between that 8 and 12. So I just said 10. Yeah.
Nice. All right.
And so that's but he's not a good fit for the wide nine, and a player like him is going to look terrible in a wide nine. It would be like putting Peyton Manning in a run type offense. He's just not. That's
right.
Just not
Wrong puzzle piece. I get it. Square peg round hole. I got
you. There you go. Yeah, and I think that's where Clemens kind of fits in. He's a little bit too small to be a defensive tackle. Just a full-time defensive tackle. He just doesn't have. He needs another 20, 30 pounds probably on there. And where are you going to pack that on him? He's going to look like the Incredible Hulk by then. And so he's kind of that in between. He's just a good fit for a defensive end, but not only in a specific scheme. And I think AG and everybody else will figure out, hey, here's what this guy's talent is. And he doesn't have a lot, but here's what he's going to excel at. And we're going to put him in the right situation and just say, quarterback, just go get him. I don't care what else you do. On this play, you go get him. Or on this play, you set the edge, and if they run it, whatever they do, I just need you to cover this area and go do it. Now, is that a great? Is it? You want a multi-tooled guy like JJ? Not everybody on the team can be
of course.
a JJ or something like that. So you've got to have this role player that's going to sit there and say, I just need you to go do one thing good right now. And when I call out something else, I need you to go do this one thing good. Don't think, because we know you can't. But
I see it. This
you
is
see
how
my
I see
point
it,
there?
Yeah, 100%. Is that to me, this is a movie. Okay, we've got leading actors, we have supporting actors. And if everyone knows their role and what they're supposed to do, what Jermaine is supposed to do, what Michael Clemens is supposed to do are not the same things. And that's okay. But if everyone can embrace their roles, that's a big piece. Sometimes they can't and they try to do too much. It seemed like Michael a lot tried to play superhero and try to make plays and do things that he was not capable of doing, which put him in bad positions. And then he also just did stupid shit. I can't explain that. I don't know why he was doing all that, but so we'll see if AG can sort of, channel the animal. Can he get him to do that?
That is a great way of putting it. Channel the animal. Just put the blinders on and say, hey, I need you to go do this. And with JJ being back, he's not going to be playing near as many snaps as he did last year.
Who's that?
With Michael Clemens.
Oh, right. I see what you're saying. Right. Because obviously Jermaine went out week 2. Someone had to overcompensate. Michael overcompensates. Right. That's true. Right.
So we won't see as much of him. So, my guess is that because we'll see a little bit less of him, he'll be able to excel more. They'll be able to focus more on his 20 plays a game.
Quality over quantity. I see
instead of his 40, because he's playing 40 plays a game, and out of those 40, he's going to have 6, 5 or 6 just what the hell plays. If you can eliminate that, give him just 20 and get him to focus. If you can get him to focus for 20 plays and excel in 20 plays.
Yeah.
And so I'm not ready to get rid of Clemens yet. I think he's going to make a solid rotational player. How about that?
Yeah.
Not a good starter. I don't think he should be a good starter. He's not smart enough to be a good starter.
Right. I would be, based on the roster that's constructed right now, if Michael Clemens doesn't make the team, that's a shock to me. Not because of what everyone says. Look at the rest of who is taking his job. Who?
Right.
Who is it? I look at this roster. I just did a 53-man roster prediction where literally I looked at every player of the roster. I'm like, there's no one here that's taking Michael Clemens' job. But that's why we play the games. It's football. We'll see. Maybe someone's going to do something I'm not anticipating. But, as it currently is constructed, Michael Clemens is making this roster. And Jet fans, Indy, you're happy about it. But for others, you're going to have to get used to it unless something else happens. A new addition happens, something crazy happens. He's going to be on this roster.
Yeah, and I think that, like you said, there's nobody to replace him. And if you can get 20, 25 good snaps out of a guy like that, I don't want him playing 40, 50 snaps a game. And he proved he can't do that. But, every player can grow, and especially with a new opportunity, this team is so full of question marks. I wish the season would just start so we could actually talk about some tangible stuff about the Jets. I mean, we got the camp coming up, and we'll be able to talk a little bit about
preseason, this, that.
Right. But once we get the season going, at least we can say here, there's no more ifs. Well, what if we do this, or what? This is what happened. And when we beat the Steelers, and I want you, when we beat the Steelers, and then we go into the Buffalo. We always play Buffalo really well early in the season.
We have, yep.
So I want you to think, can you imagine this? Let's just say we steal that game in Buffalo, right?
Jesus.
We'll just steal it, right? But Buffalo ends up having their normal, 13-win season. By the time week 17 rolls around, or week 18, I should say, right? Week 18.
Yeah.
And we're playing Buffalo. And let's say they have their playoff spot locked in, and they're going to sit there and rest starters. They could lose that game too, and we could actually end up sweeping Buffalo by accident.
Hey, that would be. I don't give a shit how we do it. That'd be wonderful. Give me the brooms, baby.
Yeah, and so it's get used to this regime getting us ready for the playoffs.
Booyah! Let's bleep and go. Yes.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at this year. I'm actually more excited this year than I was last year.
That's impressive.
I'm not now. The year before, when Aaron Rodgers came here, he comes running out. Comes running out on the field, and you got the American flag going, and you got and 4 plays later, we're all sitting here picking our jaws up off the ground, going,
that was
the most Jet thing we could actually possibly happen.
Yep.
So,
It's been
but
brutal.
I'm excited for because all the ifs are positive things.
That's right. Yes. Yeah.
And so I'm excited to see this. I like to see I like to see these young kids, excel, and that's part of the coaching in me. I love watching, I love watching these kids excel at any age, and we have so many young kids that are just dying to be great.
Mm-hmm.
And you put them all together, and if this team just happens to uh, click all at one time, I know it's not the normal Jet thing to do because we've just never had it, but
Right.
this is homegrown talent. This isn't talent that we've just bought off the street to try to get these guys, including Brees. People were talking about getting rid of Brees. I'm sorry, but JJ, Brees, Garrett, and Sauce.
Just
Those
keep them here
guys
forever. That'd be wonderful.
those guys are those guys are if Brees has a great year and we sign him for another 2-3
Who's going to
years,
be mad at that?
yeah, you can't be mad at that. This is a core that I don't recall the Jets ever having in the history of that I've ever been a fan of, in 40 plus years.
It feels that way, Indy. I would even say maybe the 2000 draft, right, where we had Chad, Sean Ellis, John Abraham, and Anthony Becht. But even then, obviously, their shelf life together was encapsulated. We'll see if this one's different, right? What happens to Brees? What happens to Jermaine? There's a lot more questions than answers from that perspective. But there we go. The Michael Clemens stock up for Indy Jets. A couple extra minutes there before we get off. Appreciate it. Again, guys, check out the Randy Lang interview, the Man Shot Show, Boy Green Digital. And I already put it down there. The full article to the 53-man roster prediction breakdown is already in there. We'll also make it the pinned comment on YouTube if you're watching this after the fact. Thank you so much for joining us. More content coming on the channel, baby. Stay tuned here on youtube.com/BoyGreen25. Take care, everybody. Enjoy training camp.